You know that feeling, right? That tightness in your chest, that sense of dread about what's coming next? That's anxiety. And man, it can feel absolutely enormous, totally overwhelming. But today, we're going to talk about some simple, really practical tools to shrink it right back down to a size you can actually handle. Frozen, that one word, it says so much. It captures that exact moment of pure overwhelm. I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling, right? You're so caught up in what might happen that you literally can't do what you need to do right now. And this is the peak of a real story. And that's really what we're here to do. We're not just going to talk about the problem, we're going to map out a hopeful path forward. Think of it as a journey from a super common, very human problem to a real, tangible solution you can actually use. So let me tell you about Sarah. She is 32, a teaching assistant, and every single morning it was the same thing. Her heart would just start pounding. Her mind would spin out of control, imagining every possible worst-case scenario. What if I fail my students? What if my colleagues are judging me? And that's the classic anxiety spiral, isn't it? It just loves to live in the land of what if. So how did Sarah go from being totally frozen in her car to actually getting on with her day? Well, it all starts with understanding this one fundamental secret about how anxiety works, and more importantly, how to take its power away. Let's ask ourselves a really important question here. Where does anxiety actually live? Is it in the room with you? Is it baked into that task you have to do? Or is it hiding somewhere else entirely? The answer to this question, well, it's the key to everything. Okay, so check this out. This slide lays out the battleground perfectly. Anxiety's playground, it's the imagined future. It's a place that's just filled with all those what-ifs. But your power, the place where you can actually fight back, that lives entirely in the real, tangible present moment. The whole trick is to stop asking what if and start asking what is. What can I see right here, right now? What's my next tiny step? So how do you actually do that? How do you pull yourself out of that scary, imagined future and back into the present? Well, you need a toolkit, and we're about to walk through 5 incredibly simple, practical steps that anyone, and I mean anyone, can use to get grounded and shrink that feeling of overwhelm. So here's our roadmap. It's ground, breathe, break tasks, routine, and gradual exposure. I want you to think of these as 5 muscles that you can actually train and build up over time. Each one helps you stay right here in the now, where anxiety has way less room to grow. All right, first up, grounding. This is like pulling the emergency brake on a runaway train of thought. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique is so simple. You just name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can physically feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. See what it does? It forces your brain to stop worrying about the future and focus on what your senses are telling you right now. Next up, breathe. Anxiety often kicks off that physical fight or flight response. But here's the cool thing. You can manually shut it off with your breath. A slow inhale for 4 seconds, and then a longer, slower exhale for 6 seconds. That sends a direct signal to your nervous system saying, hey, we're safe. It's basically a physiological reset button. Tool number 3, break your tasks down. When Sarah was frozen in her car, she wasn't just thinking about teaching one class. No way. She was thinking about the whole day, the whole week, all the judgment, all the potential failures. She was staring at the entire mountain. The solution? Ignore the mountain. Focus on the very next pebble in front of you. Just put the key in the ignition. That's it. Just open the car door, one tiny step at a time. Okay, let's talk about tool number 4. Routine. Anxiety loves chaos. It thrives in uncertainty. So a predictable routine, especially for your sleep and your mornings, creates this amazing sense of safety and control. When you know what's coming next, there are just fewer blank spaces for anxiety to scribble its what-ifs into. And our final tool, gradual exposure. Now, this one can sound a little scary, but it's really about gently teaching your brain that you can handle things. So if speaking up in a meeting is terrifying, maybe you start by just saying hello at the beginning. That's it. The next time, you add 1 single sentence. By staying in that feared situation for just a tiny bit longer each time, you prove to yourself that the catastrophe you imagined, well, it doesn't happen. You're building confidence, not fear. So what happens when you start putting all these tools together? You create this really fundamental shift. You go from being a passenger in a car that's being driven by all your future fears to being the one in the driver's seat, totally in control, right here in the present moment. And this right here just nails the main takeaway. It's not about trying to get rid of anxiety forever. That's not the goal. It's about understanding that its power comes from yanking you into the future. By breaking things down into tiny present moment actions, you literally starve it of its fuel. You shrink it. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Forget about the massive mountain you think you have to climb tomorrow or next week. Just for a second. Look around you, right now. What is one tiny, manageable, present moment step you can take? Because that is where all your power is.